So our next topic is jump statement. So there are two types of jump statements are there, break and continue. To get to from one to other point of the program, these jump statements are used to take control of the program from one point to other. So another jump statement there is go to statement. We did not to study about that because that is obsolete now. So we'll go one by one, that is break and continue. What are used for? So first one is break statement. So break statement terminates the execution of a loop and it transfers the program control from one point to another immediately, whichever is placed after that code block. So we'll see the break statement code flow. So loop starts, and if the execute statement is true, then the statement is executed. After we use break statement, that will be terminating the code. Otherwise, it will go to the loop again. So similarly, this will be happening. This is the flow chart of that. Now we'll move to see what is continue statement. So continue statement skips the current iteration of the loop and passes program control to the next iteration of the loop. What I mean by that is, when we take example in the VS Code, then we'll understand better. Unlike break statement, it never terminates the loop execution. So break statement, whenever we write, that generally break that loop and it is coming out of the loop. But continue statement, wherever we use, that statement is skipped. So this is the flow chart of that. Loop starts and the statement executed if it is true. Then when we use continue, it will still execute, it will not end it, it will be in the loop, but it will skip that part. When the condition is false, that is going to end the statement. Now we'll go to the VS Code and we will see one small examples of break statement and continue statement. We're going to use break statement in switch statement. When we use switch, that we're going to use a lot there. Now try to see small examples of break and continue statement. Now let's move to the VS Code. Our next example is going to the break statement. Then we'll see the continue statement also. So break statement dot cpp. So this is the code we're going to see first. So break statement, what we studied there, that it will terminate the loop. So we studied for loop. So we're going to see according to that. So let's write the header file hash include iostream, and we'll write using namespace std. This is the basic template we already know. We'll write int main, and inside this we're going to write the break statement conditions, whatever the things we're going to write. When we use break, that will generally break the loop. For taking the loop, what I have to do, we are taking for loop. For example, for loop, I have to initialize the iterating variable. I am taking iterating variable as I equals to 1. Suppose I want to print from 1 to 20, right? So generally what we do, we do initialization, then we do give the condition I less than equals to 20 suppose, and we're going to give I plus plus. So that is the updation of the code. This is the for loop, and inside the scope of it, if I write directly cout I, so it is going to print 1 to 20, right? But we don't want that right now. We want to break this loop before ending, going to till 20. So what I'll do is, here I'll write one if statement, and here what I'll do, if I equals to 14, if I is equals to 14, that time break the statement. That time write break. It means it will break the statement till 13. It will be printed. From 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 will not be printed. So now I have to print that thing also. Cout, I'll write I, and I'll give some space to it so that it looks good. All right, now this is done, and at the last I'll be doing is I'll be writing the return statement. return 0. So what I did, like we used to not write this thing, right? So that used to print from 1 to 20. So I'll save this code, Control S, and I'll show the both different thing. So if I don't write this, so let me comment it out. If I don't write this, and if I print this way, and I do Control S, and if I run the code, so see what is happening. It is printing 1 to 20. You see, it is printing 1 to 20. But we studied the break statement, right? So I'll take this code out. So if I use this, it will break the statement. It will not run till 20. It is breaking whenever it is coming 14. It means it will print from 1 to 13. Control S, I'll save it. I'll just run the code again. And when I run it, you see it is printing till 1 to 13. But loop is running till 20. When I'm not using this, we already saw it is printing till 20. Now it is printing till 13. So this is the use of break statement. We're going to see this break a lot in switch statement. Now we'll see the use of continue statement, and we know that continue statement is used to skip that part, not terminate the loop. Continue statement doesn't terminate the loop. For that, I'll take another program and I'll write continue.cpp. Here we'll again do hash include, we'll write again the header file, hash include iostream, and what I'll do, I'll be using the using name std, namespace std, and we'll write the main function int main, and this is the basic template every time we write. Now inside this we'll write the continue statement thing. So again we'll write the for loop. Again we'll write the for loop and we'll try to skip that part, whatever that continue statement is going to do, right? So suppose I'll write for loop again, and I don't want to terminate it. If I want to terminate any point, so I'll be using break statement, but for continue we'll just skip that part. I'll initialize the variable int I is the iterating variable. It is starting from 1 suppose, and suppose 1 to I want to print till 100. So if I is less than equals to 100, let's take 100, and I'll do the updation of this is the basic for loop syntax. All right, syntax means how it is written. All right, now I'll give the if condition and I'll give I modulus of 3 equals to 0. It means whenever I is divisible by 3, it means module remainder is going to be 0. Skip that. It means I'm saying that multiple of 3, skip those things. Modulus function find the remainder, and it is saying whichever number is divisible by 3, that is equals to 0. Remainder 0 means what? Remainder 0 means it is completely divisible by that number, right? So whichever is divisible by 3, skip that number. So continue, if I write continue, it will skip that part, and I have to print that number also in the for loop. So what I'll be writing, cout I, and I'll give some space to it and I'll give semicolon. Then what I'll do, I'll write return 0 also here. Now after giving that return 0, I need to save the code. So I'll Control S, I'll save it. So it will do what? It will modulus operator does is find a remainder, and we saying when remainder is equals to 0, double equals to means it is going to be equal to that 0. This is not assignment. When you use 1 equals to, that is what assignment is. And continue does what? It will skip those, whatever the multiple of 3 from 1 to 100. Now if I save Control S, I save it. Now I'll clear it here so it looks good. So I'll clear it. Now I'll run the code. Right click and run code. And if I run it, you see that 3, 6, 9, 12, every multiple of 3 are skipped. It is not all the natural numbers. 1, 2, 3 is not there, 6 is not there, 9 is not there. So one thing you can play here, if you change here to 4, it means divisible, whatever is divisible by 4, that will be changed. If I run the code here, and it will print, see, 4 is not there, 8 is not there, all are skipped. So this is the use of continue statement. So we'll end the code here and we'll go to the switch statement. We'll move to the switch statement. Thank you.